you are speaking on trade union pluralism in Malaysia, opportunity or operational risk for SMEs. Could you give us a sneak peek? Should SMEs see this as a chance for better industrial relations or a challenge in managing multiple unions?
It is a very important topic as well, and I'm very honored to be the first speaker, if I'm not mistaken, for the conference. Okay, and the topic is quite challenging, Cik Fahmi, and also the participants, because the topics involve the current law reform regarding Trade Union Act 1959 that is happening last year since 15 September 2024. Most importantly is because previously we know that only one group of employee can form their one union in their particular company. But now, because of the amendments to the law, any employee can form unions. That's why my topic here highlighting on the term pluralism in trade unions. Okay, I know many participants out there, especially SMEs, wanted to know more about the pluralism and to what extent pluralism or multiplicity of trade unions will impact their businesses. So I don't want to go further. I keep it for the conference better.
Unions Amendment Act 2024 introduces significant changes, particularly on trade union pluralism. What are the most critical shifts that SMEs should be aware of?
Okay, to give a bit of perspective or background of the story, Malaysia recognized the ILO 87 convention. This convention highlights the importance of freedom of association, whereby the freedom of association is also highlighted in our national federal constitution. Okay, so because of these recent amendments, I believe the main intention of the legislator of the country is that we wanted to increase the number of employees in the union. Why? Because statistically, we only have about 1 million union members in Malaysia out of about 16 million workforce in Malaysia, meaning to say it's still in the lower amount, and especially at national level, our country is still among those that is still low in terms of union membership participation. And that is why the importance of the amendments is that they wanted to increase the number and to have the solidarity of the voices among the union members.
Major change is the removal of restrictions on trade unions operating within specific industries. How does this pluralism impact SMEs in terms of operational risk?
Okay, well, this is pursuant to the amendment to Section 2, whereby this part already been deleted. Why it's deleted? Briefly speaking, is because they wanted to allow cross-border membership, union membership. And please bear in mind, when I'm mentioning about the words union, it's not only union for employees, it's also unions for employers as well, because the employers also can form their own union.
The question is, the new sole bargaining rights provision under the Industrial Relations Act aims to reduce conflicts. How can SMEs navigate situations where multiple unions claim representation?
Okay, at the end of the day, this is pursuant to Section 12 of the Industrial Relations Act 1967, whereby sole bargaining right can only be given to one particular trade union to negotiate with the company on the terms of collective agreement. This process, we call it as collective bargaining process, to have both parties mutually agreed into a collective agreement for a stipulated period of time. However, when multiplicity of unions or pluralism in trade unions come with sole bargaining, at the end of the day, I give you one example. If two unions representing the same group of workers in the same company, both cannot have the sole bargaining right. Only one, pursuant to Section 12. That is why the employer can only give one sole bargaining right to one employee, one union, whereas the other one cannot. This is only for the period of the relevant period during the CE. For example, 3 years from 2025 to 2027, only Union A. So Union A have the sole bargaining right. And the next term, maybe they need to do another secret ballot or other process to show that they win the majority from the same members.
So who decides that?
Well, currently, because secret ballot will be done by the DG of the Industrial Relations Department, IRD.
With limited HR resources, what are the top 3 actions they should prioritize under these new laws?
Well, since I'm talking for this particular conference, the number one would be you must participate in the conference, all right, to know more on the recent updates on the topics and other topics as well. Number 2, I would say the HR community, they should form their own, at least WhatsApp group, to keep updated on their knowledge, because frankly speaking, it's not only Trade Union Act that have recent amendments. All acts related to human resource management in the country now have facing a very major amendments. So HR personnel can no longer use business as usual. They need to keep up with the law. And last but not least, number 3, I would say if there is any problems, please don't hesitate to come to the HR professional, consultants or lawyers that is specialized in employment law. Like myself, I'm very happy to assist any HR personnel or company to go forward with these amendments to the law.
Why should SME leaders and HR professionals attend your session to prepare for these legislative changes?
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, IHR is always representing SMEs because their target market is SMEs, so that SMEs can have their voices through IHR. So by joining this conference, I believe this is not just another conference. This conference will be the eye-opener for the participants and SMEs out there, not only in Klang Valley, correct, Cik Fahmi? It's like nationwide conference, so all of you can come for this particular conference, learn, socialize with other HR practitioners, and you can ask questions. That's the very most important thing, because normally when we attend event, we can't ask questions because the speaker will leave the event. But I believe IHR conference is a bit different, whereby speakers and the experts are there, and they will conduct the session as well as the workshop to sharing knowledge among the participants and speakers. That is very good initiative, I would say.
What tips do you have for our audience out there? On why they should attend the SME HR conference?
Of course, I wanted all HR practitioners, especially from SMEs, to join this conference because at the end of the day, we realized that HR is not a legal person like a lawyer, we know. But because HR involve law, so HR personnel, especially from SMEs, also need to keep up with the law. I would say it's very fortunate because even though you are not practicing lawyer, you still need to know the law. Because now, based on my experience that I can share with you, company must be always ready at all time because they do not know when any union will come and knock their door. So for me to give a tips for participants to join this conference, at least you read the very basic information related to the amendments, so that when you come to the conference, you can know further details on the consequences of the multiplicity of trade unions, and you can ask what would be the pro and cons to your specific company, and also the advantages and disadvantages of allowing trade union into your company, be it from national trade union or at the in-house level trade union. There will be some consequences as well as to the business, and the bosses also must know what would be the cost effect as to the manpower cost, especially to their organization. So of course you can come and learn more during this conference, and I believe IHR has done their part promoting the conference throughout the social media. I've seen in Facebook, hopefully they will put in LinkedIn, because I know HR personnel also active in LinkedIn and any other social media platforms from IHR, and also their websites, IHR Consulting. With that, I would like to invite all of SMEs, business leaders, owners, or HR practitioners and personnel to come and join this conference 2025. You can click the link below and register your names. I'll see you there during the conference, since I'll be the speaker for the conference. Thank you.